Breakbulk Middle East in Abu Dhabi, and we've just finished a panel on the evolving industrial supply chain, and I have the moderator of that panel with us here in the studio, Lars Greiner from Bertling. Welcome, Lars. Nice to see you.
Hi, thanks very much for having me.
Well, I think you had one of the liveliest panels that I've seen in a long time.
I think I was very lucky. We had an extremely experienced panel. I think no one there had less than 20 years experience in the industry. So, a grand total of the total panel of over 100 years of experience. What can go wrong with that?
Well, seemed like there were some differing opinions on some issues. Can you maybe just cover some of the highlights that you heard and maybe some of the things that surprised you?
I think it was very clear to me from the beginning that we would have some differing opinions, particularly when you've got an asset-based company like the shipping company, where Dennis Bandura from BBC was very focused on our assets and they're not going to change. And realistically, that's true. And very often we tend to forget that certain things cannot change. The ships are going to be there, the trucks might change form, but they're still going to be trucks.
Sure.
And for myself, sometimes I forget the devil in the details. But overall, I think there was a general agreement that while the industry is not going to change massively, the communications and the trust factors are going to change massively, driven by digitalization and the systemization of the industry.
Do you think that level of trust is possible? That sort of total transparency that some talk about?
I think whether it's possible or not is debatable. I think it is very much going to happen, for good or for bad, simply through the digitalization. Digitalization in itself is creating more and more transparency. When you look at, I think probably more than 80% of the errors that occur on any particular transport are human errors. And I don't mean deliberate ones, I mean the transposing of two numbers,
Sure.
The forgetting of one communication. The more we can digitalize and systemize it, the more we can smooth it. And that in itself creates a more visible and transparent supply chain, and in doing that we start to rebuild the trust. I think linked to that as well, over the years there's been a breakdown in trust between the industry and the clients, and I think that is something that is visible from today, needs to be repaired and rebuilt, that the clients do start to trust the industry more, and in doing that also put back the value in the industry. One of the harping points, which I think I mentioned a couple of times, was that Eric in particular was talking about the various sectors and the difference between the assets and the non-assets. And while he didn't mean to, he in doing that he neglected the value of the human capital as an asset. And I think they were seeing very much that coming back. And that goes on to the discussion for tomorrow, as to what is the value of that human capital. Do we have the talent, and what is the value of that talent?
Absolutely. Well, we hope that everyone will join us tomorrow for that discussion, and thank you so much for moderating this panel today.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you.